Howdy. I'm here to do some application porting. Today my subject's going to be text and some other statistics that may be relevant to the situation at hand. I'm also going to do the libpcap and other stuff. I'm going to go over some of my stats here and see how things are going. But don't need the hat for that. So anyway, I got libpcap to compile. I don't think it's anything new. There's someone else working on it in 2009. But I did another hack patch, and I decided to come up with a new term. I'm going to call them Confederate Patches. And what a Confederate patch is not a Yankee patch. Those damn Yankee patches are a pain in the ass to deal with. Confederate patches, you fix the file, and that's the file you use. So you get the source code, you download it, and you just copy over the files you want to use, and replace the files you don't want to use. Of course, Yankee patches are probably a little better, a little more useful for getting patches actually brought into source code, so we don't have to maintain them anymore. But so it's awful hard to get a patch, especially out of package source. So especially when patches have already been made. So it's kind of, whatever. I think I have 3 patches here. I'm going to call Yankee patches, and I have 1 Confederate patch. Confederate patch looks like this. This is for the fad/null file that's in the source. That's right. It's a blank file. I zeroed out the contents of that file. So basically, to get libpcap to work, at least for me, 4 files I'd edit. 1 I just zeroed out because it was all this thing did was define the undefined reference that the compiler error was doing, as far as I could tell. This here Yankee patch for pkap inth, there it is. I added this. I was getting this uint64t error, so I just put that stuff at the top, and then I compiled. I got this other Yankee patch where I got rid of all the mentions of this fad null because I wanted to try to compile an empty document. That probably would have been good enough, actually. Probably didn't need to make a Confederate patch for that at all. And last Yankee patch here is the pkgsrc. And there were a bunch of duplicate definitions that are overstrict compiler doesn't like, so through trial and error, I got rid of all these things. I can't really actually use these in. I can't use the makefile patch in package source because I'll have to merge this patch with the existing patches and try again. And it's going to end up being 2 hours just to get a patch that's simple, and all it really is in the makefile. I'm just getting rid of mention of one thing. So that's why I used to call these magic steamrollers and call them Confederate patches from now on. So okay, let's look at some stats now. I also compiled. Let's see, there's 2 of them. There's a preliminary for xinit. I'm working on getting xinit to run so I could have that running so I could play my X games that I've compiled. Apparently depend on function-wise you need x11, but dependency-wise they'll go ahead and let you compile without working xinit. I did not know that. So over here, let's see what's going on here. about 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. I had 496 items in the print department, but now it's going to be we'll find out how many I got now. These are all, most of these are texts. 505. So this is actually out of date. So let's look. But even before that, so again, you know, when I do a run through with these changes to my makefile and with a base set of dependencies, Python, Perl, SSL installed, and I make some effort on a few things to deal with small, minor issues. I'm getting anywhere from the worst case scenario, the M-bone, once again, 17%, and there's so many text packages, I would say that this print category really isn't representative. I mean, I'm going to do a second pass over converters because I didn't have the end cursors in there. And it may not make a difference. So it's roughly, a lot of them are in the 40 and 50% range, but you know, the CAD range is kind of low, and a lot of it has to do with X11. And right now, I'm waiting. I'm literally waiting before I do the Mesa library. I have to deal with the hard links that are built into the tar files that download from Mesa that won't extract on this hard system because it doesn't have hard links in the file system. There's another one. Let's check that in there. Oh yeah, and I found something else out. It's very easy to the only thing that I've discovered, the only thing that these guest editions actually do is allow me to have mouse integration at the cost of not being able to just simply drag things. And I've actually come to the realization there's really only one file you have to put in place because nothing else seems to matter. So if you download the package, all you really need is that one file. I just go in the config directory, and I went over this last night, but this is probably easier. Just put this in order, I'll find it. Config, unpackage, it's an add-on, kernel, driver, vbox dev. What's that doing there? I guess it just automatically likes to make its own copies. But all I really did here is copy this vbox mouse. As soon as I move this out, the mouse integration goes, but I can drag things. I should probably make a little script where I could just press enter and have it rename it. Well, I don't know if it really matters. As long as it's there, it's going to do its thing. So it's actually under non-package add-ons, input server devices. And I don't know what those other things are doing there. I think it just kind of makes copies of itself. Come on, config, non-package add-ons. That thing. If I move that somewhere else, which I actually couldn't drag that on the desktop if I wanted to right now, then my mouse integration goes. But if keep it there, I have the mouse integration, but I can't drag anything. So I'm clicking the mouse. So it's in there. STL. Right? Do the click. There's the click. So it's right there. Right there. Not dragging anywhere. Do it again. Click. We're not dragging. So, that's the price. It's the price I pay for the. I'm also keep track of these lists of what I have, but I realized that when I did my thing yesterday, I really didn't do a very good job of going over my make.conf file, and I probably should go over Digers a little bit too, because he's got some features in there. And if I thought my screen would show this stuff a little bit better, I would probably, I probably have all that stuff set aside anyway. Let's see. So this is my make.conf as of yesterday. I'm going to take a look, see if this is coming up decently. Yeah, I could live with that. Yeah, line numbers aren't so important. Yeah, okay, yeah, I can see that. All right, so let's go over this damn thing. Yesterday, I'm just going to do it again, because the no checksum equals yes, that allows me to revert to different versions of packages if one isn't working for me, and I feel helpless. The only thing I think I could do is try another one and see if that works. This no checksum won't barf at me and tell me to go to hell when I try to compile something that isn't of the same version, because the checksums are turned off. pkgsrc does have a checksum thing in there. I haven't had to do this much lately. I may actually turn that off. I've overridden the final package destination. This in conjunction with oh God, so many things. I think it's package.make or something. Yeah, there it is. This in conjunction with this file here, which will do a better job to show, except it's too damn big. I've changed this variable here. Where I have final package destination. I've highlighted there. I got it in 3 places. 1, 2, 3. I've created my own variable. And as long as I have this labeled over here in the make.conf file, this file is located under it's in the package source root directory. It's under package format, the package format directory. In fact, I got another right. Makes in the make folder, it's in the package format folder, and the package directory. This package .make used to say $package repository, $file base, $package version, and I'd figured out that this is that the same? Yeah. I figured out that this had. Wait, let's look at this. There it is. $pack. See that .packages? The rest of these is the way the file is named. But this .packages. So I've replaced this $work directory up through there with my own verbiage, which is final package destination. If I don't have that variable in my make file, the ready-made packages will no longer be ready or made. They will just simply disappear. I lost something here. Whatever. All right. Next one, skip license check. This is just an annoying thing. If you, they really should have. The option really should be is do license check equals yes, not skip license check equals yes. Because most people that are doing anything are not going to want, every time there's a non-BSD license, to have to edit this make file to allow it to be installed. I'm not religious about the BSD or any license, actually. Unprivileged just has to do with the way it was bootstrapped. This fetch timeout is very important. There was a time when I came in and it was 14 hours before it was still trying to fetch a package that wasn't on some FTP server, obviously. So the 120 there means 2 minutes. It has 2 minutes to try. And if it has not succeeded in 2 minutes, it tries the next FTP server. And there's multiple FTP servers that package source tries to use. This local patches is where I've used Git to download Diger's repository. If I had another option in there, a .s include statement, and I pointed to the file that Diger has in that directory called haiku.make.conf or something like that. Take a look. I hate how this thing doesn't respond sometimes. haiku.make.conf. He's got some other settings in here that would, conceivably help you. I haven't been able to verify how these work, or whether if they work better or worse than mine. They probably work better than mine. From what I can tell, Diger's very knowledgeable. I just haven't tried it. I'm holding on to the ones that I've figured out because I like them, and I don't want there to be a conflict between his and mine. Otherwise, I'd use them. All this other stuff I probably should use. I probably should bring his stuff in there and do some more stats and see how it goes from there. He doesn't have anything, I don't think, to overcome the issue with the Mesa library, though. I could be wrong, though. So he's got options for a bunch of packages. NetPBM, MIT 05, all these things help. And if it's any of these packages, he inserts the BSD library. These are all, it's not as crude as the way I have it, This probably would help Python. I probably should try that. I don't think I tried it that way at home, because I had my own stuff going on. Alright, let's get back over to here. Again, these are my own specs. I'll turn these off and on occasionally. It really doesn't actually make a difference, I've come to note. I'm injecting these LD flags on every single compile. Throw the L network in there. Throw the L network in there. I'm making sure that package config looks at my package directory. Sometimes it gets overridden. I'm always adding enable shared. Sometimes it doesn't come out that way. I'm saying always install to there. These come stock with those come stock with package source. The ncurses default's important. It made a difference. I got like maybe 6 or 7 more games out of the games category as a result of turning that on. They're curses games, but they're still. Build and Transform was the math library, deals a couple of P threads, L socket. This with no error annoys the shit out of me, but I don't think it does anything actually. Then this set of commands here actually injects the network library into any file called makefile. You could do this for other things. I was thinking of working on something to deal with the issue I dealt with library pcap. Basically, what had happened with library pcap. No, I'm going to do that later. But this is really a sed statement. And what sed does is it substitutes things for other things. If you find this, add this. So, but I have, mine is incomplete. I'm just saying if you find L flags, find L network. But it'd be good if I had it search for LD flags and C flags and a bunch of other stuff. I just haven't enhanced that yet. I'm using the Python 34 as the default because it built better for me, and I'm having more success building modules with Python 34. And in some cases, I have actually the same package, but built for different versions of Python. In one case, these two that are commented out, they really don't do much. This here, notice how it doesn't have an RM. This means, so with this building transform, this is another attempt to inject the library network. I'm not getting a lot of those errors, at least that I'm noticing right now. But as I do more analysis on some of these sections here, which basically means I'll do a dry run with all the ones that error and see what the errors are and look them, come back and make a summary of what the errors are and see if there's anything I could do overall with my strategy that might approach this a little bit better. This Pro5 pack list was some, I didn't see that it really worked. That I just commented out. It was some kind of suggested setting, but and that's it. So I'm not using Digert settings, which probably is hurting me in the cases where all these things he's actually dealt with. I have BZIP2 resolved, and in my case, he's a little more selective. I've just gone in to the tools file, and I've just said, in any case, there's ln.s minus s, or just ln, just make it ln minus s. Substitute ln minus s for ln. In all cases. Now what happens when it goes ln minus s, right? I'm substituting ln minus s for ln, and sometimes the ln minus s is there already. It still works. Don't know what that is. This I ought to try, actually. That would probably be Python. Now, end curses I didn't have a problem with, I don't think, but I'm able to play Moonbuggy. I guess I could showcase that. So I don't know what he's doing there. A lot of the times you make these things when a problem comes up. I just wasn't there to figure it out. This OpenSSH definitely helped because it did help me at home. I have not tried Samba yet. I probably should use this, and probably the only thing I should do is I should probably just bring this stuff in. And right now I'm wondering about these things. Is package developer? Yes. I don't think it does anything, actually. Maybe it allows for conflicting packages to make. I'm not sure. This is, he's trying to, just for this one package, he's doing only the math library. I don't know what this L means. If it means link, then that would be very nice to have. And then he's, has other options for other stuff. So, maybe I wouldn't have a problem building all these things if I didn't have this thing turned off. I may do a run with his settings and turning off my build link stuff and just see how it goes. But I think I tried it at home, and when I had this thing included, well, I'm not sure if I did actually. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say. All you do know is I've had some success with my settings, but his may be just as good. if not better. I mean, he's got a lot of other options that I don't seem to have there. Combinations, you know. But with just, you know, the more crude options that I have, I'm at 50%. And I'm sure once I get the Mesa libraries built, you know, I might be able to get pretty damn far. But this is probably the more efficient way to go. Except I don't know how I dealt with Mesa. Alright, let's put some more of these text stuffs in here. Pretty sure they're all text. Almost done with that. Yeah, let's talk about the changes they made in pthreads. There's a few that come back again. So initially, the first error that will come up will be this variable here in lowercase, this uint64.t comes up and says, the error says, this is an undefined reference. In fact, I can just go there and do that because why not? This is the first time I've dealt with something, one of the few times I've dealt with something, and was able to deal with the fact that I think I understand that I'm actually saying, I don't know what I'm saying there. I'm just saying include a header and define this variable, but I'm not saying if it's a character variable, a number you know, and I guess it works. So cd net. I do have a full backup, so I can always revert back to it. What prompted me to do this is I wanted to do nmap, so I could run nmap against my local host and see if there were any sockets waiting for connections, because I was trying to run these X apps and was saying, I don't know, what display number should I use? And and would that display be similar at all to what X11 does? Who knows? But I'm still working on getting the X11 built anyway. X11 patches I have over here, which is not, no, that's just patches. Not really complete. These are the latest ones I've done here. This is a requirement for XNet. So I'm working on, what I'm working on right now is XNet. It had some kind of undefined variable. It's like every one of these goddamn things have an undefined variable. And it's so huge, it's almost like, you know, that's why I'm talking about really, I'm somewhat serious about these Confederate patches. I mean, we're nowhere close. First we got to get these things working, okay? And then, you know, someone that wants to be all, you know, super precise and, you know, Mr. Super Bean Counter. You notice, you know, yeah, I'm an accountant. At the end of the day, I come up with precise numbers, but the way accounting works is that you have a way to actually check yourself, right? So you don't have to be all, if I do this wrong now, it's the end of the world, and I can't go back. It's not that way in programming, so, no, it could be. It's just the way, the whole attitude, you know, people take. If it's got to be a perfect patch or don't give it to us, and it's not going to work. If someone can start and say, hey, I don't know what the hell I was doing, but if I did this stuff to this file, it worked, kind of, you know. Oh, okay, well then someone else could look at it and improve it. I've at least done the work to find out which file out of the thousands are the ones to look at. So it seems, right? So so I think we can do this more efficiently. If we don't allow for some flexibility, what it does is it locks out people like me that aren't really programmers, and it doesn't allow us to, we can hand the baton to somebody else. It doesn't have to be only one person running the relay race. It could be a relay race and not a. Okay, let's go back to library pcap. So let's just go through the errors here. I'm just going to make clean. In fact, you know what? I'm going to make sure I start with the, because I've been messing with this so much. I'm going to make sure I start with I may have damaged this, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to go into the backup package source. So we start fresh. I mean, absolutely fresh. In fact, I'm just going to start over again here and go. Yep. That's going to try to go through its thing. It's checking. It's not installing dependencies. It's checking dependencies. But of course, if they're not there, it'll try to install the dependencies. It's got flex. It's got libpatch. It's now going to override the tools. So basically, if I have any options, like what's in my make.conf, all that stuff is going to be thrown into the mix, I gotta do something. About my asthma. While this exciting stuff's going on, I'm gonna get a drink from the fridge and come right back. Still doing the tool chain wrappers, probably. Or now it's going to extract. Eventually it's going to get to the point where starts compiling. We're going to see this error here, and then this is the way I dealt with it. It mentions this file. This patch part here is just, this is the name of the file, pkap/inth. Alright, toolchain wrappers, let's go. Let's see what's going on in the exciting world of package source compilations. Yeah, I can't drag. Oh yeah, getting back to Diger's thing, I guess we could do that. If you wanted to use Diger's system overrides, what you do in your make.conf file is you would have a .s_include statement. I wonder if I haven't done that yet. Yeah, .s_include like this. .s_include, and then you would have where he, course, you'd put this above the end if statement. Then once you save, in fact, you know what? Why not? Just let them all roll. He doesn't have a patch for libpcap, so. So slow. How many packages are sitting outside now? None. Manual page handling. Here comes one soon. It's a text view ruler. I'm going to have a huge font and text collection, I'll tell you that. 526 items. So it doesn't have any problem configuring these config files, which I think is bad. I mean, config should fail. If config is so important, it should fail. If the damn thing is... Okay, there it is. It's saying that. Unknown type name, int64t. Okay, so when I'm going to use my Confederate patch now. Damn Yankees. All right, let's full back up. So I'm going to take this. Deal with them damn Yankees. Alright, unknown directive, whatever. Then I go back in directory. Oh, net. This isn't everything. Okay, I'm just doing this one at a time so you can see what the effect of my patches are. Okay, okay. I'm going to replace that file. That isn't really proper. Just to have an original and another one, but whatever. Okay, so it looks like my little text section there is done. So let's do the bmake install once again. Unknown directive. Line 40. What the hell is this? Alright. Alright, Doug, I gotta turn you off for a second here. Now I'll go farther. I still won't have success. At the end, it'll try to link up and say, undefined reference to blah, blah, blah. In blah, blah, blah. And that's what I... change the make file. Yeah, this fadnul sumbitch. Fadnul sumbitch. With my Confederate patch. This is my Confederate patch. So I like that. Simple. Back here in the libpcap. Let's see, is this fadnul? That's the error that comes up, so I'm gonna deal with it. Isn't this exciting? Now you'll see it says replace, right? There it is. Then it's a blank file, basically. That's Confederate. I like that. See? You don't have to worry about line numbers or whether another patch interferes with your patch. You know, it just paves it over. I think Confederate patches should always be used. And you can see all the code, too. Confederate patch has all the code you want. Now it says pkap, find all divs in the pkap.c. Alright. I'm doing Confederate patches right now. There's my Yankee patch. And I basically looked for pkap create statements and just deleted some at random and kept going until it compiled. Alright, so get my Confederate patch. Damn Yankee. Let's try it again. Then maybe I don't need to do anything to the make file, which would be good news for me. Nope. I have to actually... Now, the problem I have is I'm going to have to make clean. Because I let it go too far. But if I make clean, it's going to get rid of the directory. What to do, what to do. Let me try copying in my make file. I don't think it's going to make any difference. So what am I going to do about this? I'm going to break the rules. I'm going to traverse through the work directory and out of the... I don't think it's going to work. In fact, I think I've tried this before. And I did make clean and it just kind of barfed on me. Oh, let's see. Alright. CD. Alright, let's review. As far as package source is concerned, it believes the configure stage is dead. So it's not going to try to start the configure stage. It's going to try to just do the make stage, which is what I want it to do. Now let's see if I actually need that make file, where I've gotten rid of the reference to the file I blanked out. Right now it still lists the F null. What was that? My Confederate patch. This fad/null.z. Let's see if that let's see if that being mentioned in the make file is going to stop this from compiling, or if I'm kind of stuck in a situation where I have to wait for it to fail, do the magic steamrolling Confederate patches, and then continue again. Let's see what happens. There's a Yankee about here. It's going to ruin my compilation. Oh, I guess not. So I don't need that make file. So actually, I might actually be able to do patches because, well, it always errors on this one. Fad null. It says, oh, I don't know what it thinks it needs, but that one doesn't turn out, at least in package source. And I feel really silly putting a bunch of minus signs in every single thing in that. Probably, you know, if it's part of the recipe, it's rm the file and touch the file, maybe. Huh? Alright, so there we are. Now I got a package. We have a package, Houston. Nobody stopped by any damn Yankees. Alright, so that is, I'm Yankee too, so I'm half and half, so I could do this. Alright, so that's it for today. Nothing really exciting. Every once in a while now, just, I'll be maybe away for a while. Or doing other stuff. Come back once in a while, just let this stuff build up packages, and update my stats. I may just do stats updates, or if I just feel like it, come on, talk about nothing. Alright, that's it. Oh, let's see, what's my final tally on this damn thing? $526 damn Yankees. 6 to 7%. South will rise again.